My name is Joshua Croker, and today I will be introducing myself to you. I live in the small town of Casper, Wyoming. You might wonder where that is. Wyoming is the U.S. state with the lowest population. Casper has a population of only 50,000 people, but it is the second largest city in Wyoming. Wyoming has only 500,000 people in it, which means that there are dozens of cities with higher population. I love Wyoming for its large, open fields, majestic mountains, and of course, my family. My parents own a motorcycle and ATV business, and my dad works there most of the day while my mom's homeschooling me. I have a younger brother with Down syndrome, which means he acts and looks a bit younger than he is and sometimes gets mad, hitting and kicking and throwing things. But when he's not doing that, he's very fun to be around and sweet and kind. When I'm not playing with my brother, doing work or doing school, you can generally find me computer programming, which is basically using logic and math to make video games and other programs. I originally started on a website called Khan Academy when I was 10 years old, and looking back on the things I made then, I'm rather embarrassed by what I used to be proud of. For example, one program I was really proud of back then, the crowning jewel of my career back then, was a simple animation of a car slowly accelerating and moving across the screen, then slowing down, going backward, and stopping again. Yeah, my 10 or 11-year-old self was not very good, but eventually I started working on a game in which you shot down monkeys falling from the sky. However, when I tried to make the monkeys move back and forth to possibly dodge your shots, I simply broke the program and moved on. I started another game called Agent Hopper, in which you control a beaver with a jetpack that fights robots, but it was glitchy and ultimately I never finished it, at least in that form. However, my luck changed when I joined the Khan Collab, a massive collaboration that was going to make the greatest game the world had ever seen. We were a bit overambitious and never finished our project, but I learned a massive amount in the process and was able to finally make my first game, Pirate Tower Defense. It was a bit glitchy, but it was my first finished project. I started working on some more games, finishing some and discarding others, but I realized I could never truly make money out in the real world if I stuck to Khan Academy. That's when I discovered Unity. A friend of mine introduced me to it, saying he was using a program called Unity to program. And I was originally skeptical, but then I realized how cool it is. It has automatic 3D and collisions and stuff, which would have taken a massive amount of brain power and math on Khan Academy. I started a simple tutorial to make a small 3D game, and then tinkered with the finished project a bit, learning a lot about Unity. I then found a website with more deep, in-depth tutorials on Unity, and I started on those and have been learning Unity ever since, while still making some small programs on Khan Academy. However, programming is not the most exciting thing that's happened in my life. When I was just 10 years old, my house burned down, leaving just a smoking crater in the ground. But this is not a sob story. Rather, this is a story of how blessed my family and I are. For a week after the fire, we stayed at a friend's house, which was my 10-year-old self's dream. After that week, we were already able to find a rental house paid for by our insurance. Speaking of our insurance, a year before the fire, another bad thing happened. The hot water pipes in our house burst, flooding the house. We had a massive hassle with the insurance company. And just a week before the fire, we switched companies. The new company let us look at the ruins of our house before anyone else could, paid for a year's rental after the fire, and gave us enough money to build a new house on our old property. This new house fixed the problems of the old house and became our dream home. And a year after the house originally burned down, we moved into our new house and have been living happily ever since. Sure, my life has had a few minor problems, but really, they have been majorly offset by our blessings. Thank you for listening, and feel free to criticize this speech or anything you find in my blog.